You are listening to Unequaled with JC Carroll and Ajay Salveson. But first, our friends, the Painted Roses.
So can I ask, are you genuinely happy here in Logan at Utah State?
I actually, at the beginning of the season, I still was working through stuff, and right now I can honestly say that I am genuinely happy. And I feel like that when I wake up in the morning, I have a solid reason to get up out of bed every day. And that is something that I think has been a beautiful change in my life and that I'm grateful for. And another reason why I decided to stay is because it's rare, I feel like, to find places like that.
No, that's good. And honestly, as the transfer portal opened, you were one of the first ones on social media that was like, dude, I'm coming back. I'm running back. And, it helps me understand a little bit more how quick and how easy that decision was. We found a place that you found happiness. And I maybe I misheard, maybe I read into it. Did you say something about a wedding?
Oh, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, eventually. That's,
okay. No, I was like, man, that's that announcement too.
no,
Okay. I was like,
I had a girlfriend.
No, I'm with you. I meant to ask too. I was like, wait, you have a girlfriend? Is that what you said?
So, yeah, she's on her mission. So, like,
Where's she at?
she's in Paris.
okay.
How long she got left?
It's like 6 months.
How did you two meet?
She was on the Utah State volleyball team. And so it was just, a classic athlete.
How tall is she?
Hold on, wait. Wait.
She's like 6'1".
She could get on the ride. Let's say that.
She just had your now we're gonna both around and how long I can get on the rod. She's on the rod.
Oh, yeah, she's 6'1".
She's 6'1".
6'1". She was the Idaho State Volleyball Player of the Year her senior year.
What's her name?
Audra Radford.
Audra Radford.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to have Audra Radford when she gets back from her mission. How long she left?
6 months.
Oh, that's
She'll be back like October.
But who's counting the days, right? Still no one's counting the days. So you have 1 year under Odom.
Mm-hmm.
He takes off for VCU.
Yep.
You decide to stay. Sprinkle comes here. We talked to Mason a week ago or so.
Sorry, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
You're the second person, Mason mentioned Taylor Funk as well.
Yeah.
Such a good guy.
Apparently that guy did a good job up here.
And it was very low key because I never heard of that.
Yeah, so that's awesome.
He's such a stud. Like, he is such a good guy. He came back right before San Diego State game at home. Then he took us out to dinner at Texas Roadhouse. And he covered the bill, and he just, like, wanted to spend time with us. He is one of those guys.
Is that rare to have, like, I was there's great alumni come on, JC and Gary and those guys, but is that rare?
I would say not even in basketball. In real life, in normal life, it's rare to find those type of guys. And Taylor Funk is one of those guys who is a rarity. He is, like, such a rock star in every aspect of his life.
I mean, would Ty Wesley come back and buy you guys dinner, you think? Probably not.
He would come back and
Like,
go
wouldn't
eat dinner. He'd go eat dinner.
And I'm sorry to everybody else.
Yeah. No, but look, push come to shove. So, yeah, take nothing away from Taylor Funk. But there is a group of my former teammates that will go out and we'll share a gospel and stuff like that. They'll pick it up one time. I'll pick it up the next time. But
Sorry, anyway.
I don't know that Ty Wesley ever has, but
No, I'm going to say, probably not.
some of those other guys have.
Did you know the history of the great big men that have played here? Like, I mean, I asked this here, like, Gary Wilkinson, Ty Wesley, Spence Nilton. Like, did you understand the history of, like, what Utah State was with those kind of guys here?
I knew Eric Franson because I played high school with his son, Hayden Cornell. But that was kind of that. I mean, I'd heard a little bit, but pretty much my experience was Eric Franson.
Yeah.
And he would come play open gym with us in the mornings at our work, and he was a load to deal with. So I knew.
Well, yeah.
Utah State, and
He still got it. It looks like too.
I think he was an All-American.
He sure was. Yep. Yeah.
as well.
Because go ahead, keep tossing.
So I mean, yes, I think like the three greatest men's basketball players in Utah State history are Ty Wesley, Gary Wilkinson,
Jason Carroll.
and Namias Kent.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh,
No, all right, look. I talked to Doug Hoffman.
I love Doug.
I
I think more podcasts.
I asked him because Great Oaks Award just got Player of the Year.
Yep, All American.
And I said, who else was All-American?
Can I name that list for you?
Go.
Namish Keta.
No.
Namish Keta was an All-American.
Nope.
Yes, he is.
Honorable mention?
Hold on.
Wait,
Hold on. I'm sorry. My question is player of the year.
Oh, in the conference.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
that's different. No, you're good. Sam Merrill,
Yes.
J.C. Carroll,
Yes.
Gary Wilkinson.
Yes.
How many are there? Sorry.
There's 7.
Okay, so Gary, I'm at 3.
Yeah.
Eric Franson,
Yes.
Ty Wesley.
Yep. Dean Hunger, Gary Grant, Eric Franson, J.C. Carroll, Gary Wilkins, Ty Wesley, Sam Merrill, and now Grado Sawar.
Man, I'm good. Holy cow.
Yeah, so Eric Franson is one of those guys.
He is.
One of those guys.
Yep.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. He said he looks like he's still got it, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
He looks like he could still go back and play a couple halves of basketball.
I think his wife competes in Ironman. Like,
Oh my God.
So
they're killing it as a family.
Former Skyview quarterback and Utah State football walk-on, Ted Stokes has established the #1 bankruptcy law firm in the state of Utah. Stokes Law's playbook is helping individuals and businesses overcome tough financial situations. If you're facing garnishment, repossession, foreclosure, or just overwhelming debt, give Stokes Law a call at 435-213-4771 or visit their website, stokesbankruptcy.com. Stokes Law is a debt relief agency and provides guidance under the United States Bankruptcy Code.
All right, last season, you come here.
Yeah,
you guys have an unbelievably good year, right? You guys start rolling. I do color commentary for one of the games, and I think you guys were sitting at like an 18-game winning streak or 19-game winning streak. At what point during that winning streak were you guys like, hey, we're really good? Or what was that feeling when you started racking up those wins?
I think it was after a loss, surprisingly enough, as odd as that sounds. I think it was like Nevada at home, and that was like our 3rd loss of the year.
That's what Mason said, too.
And we were like, there was times last year when we would lose and Stephen Ashworth and those guys would be talking, and they'd be like, we still have the opportunity to make it to the tournament. We're good. Like, we can still make it to the tournament. And after we lost to Nevada at home, that was I think our only loss at home.
Yeah.
And that was kind of a bummer loss. But it was like, wow, gosh dang it, we lost that one kind of in a bad way. But then we looked at our record and we looked at where we stood nationally. We're a lot better than I think we realized. Like, we are fine. Like, it's a bummer that game happened and it ended so poorly. But like, that was not a make or break situation. We are completely fine. We've blown out a lot of teams. We've won a lot of close games, and we've done a lot this year. And like, we're not trash. Like, we're actually really good. So it was crazy because I think Coach Sprinkle he's a very intense coach, and he did such a good job of keeping our heads down and just working that sometimes it was hard to pull our heads up and look at where we were, And so,
tell me about that summer. I asked Mason the exact same question. I want to hear your answer as well. Preseason summer workouts with Coach Sprinkle.
Man, there was a lot of bumping. There was like no foul calls, and me at 225. I think Great might have been like 10 pounds heavier at the time, and so he was like 270. So he just trying to work on that was rough. But it taught me a lot about being tough, first off, and the capabilities that I have. It helped me. I think my defense improved a lot this season. I would like to think so, because that was, I'd say, is my biggest part of my game that needs improving. And it started there, because there was no foul calls and there's no excuses, and you just have to grit your teeth and do it. And you can't be soft. There's absolutely no room for soft.
And was that fun?
It was
Okay.
fun.
It brought fun to Jason. It was like,
just pop those ... fun. Yeah, it was. It did. Now that we look back at it, like in the moment, obviously sometimes you're like, holy cow, this is torture. But it was fun because it created a lot of memories and stuff we could laugh at throughout the rest of the season.
It has been. It's been memorable. I've shared in the past, but that's kind of how I grew up in Evanston High School. Like, I grew up watching Bray Papinga and a couple of these football guys play basketball, and it was no fouls called. They're chasing the ball 20 feet out of bounds against the wall, and they have black guys, and it just was that. So that's the mentality I grew up with. And I got overseas practice with some guys that didn't grow up like that, didn't practice like that, and it was like, we almost had to get in like fist fights at times because it's like, look, if you don't want to come practice, don't come.
Yep.
But I'm here to practice. Like, be ready.
Yeah.
But for me, I think it's fun if everyone buys into it and doesn't get offended.
Yeah.
And doesn't get, oh, you hit me, and oh, I'm angry. It is just fun. It creates a competitive atmosphere that ultimately makes you guys so much better. So, as tough as that summer was, I think it served you guys well, as you mentioned.
For sure. That's what I think you're right. Like, it helped us throughout that season because throughout the season, we were still bumping hard. And nobody ever got offended or took it personal or anything like that. We were like, this is basketball.
Yeah.
Like, especially Mountain West, it's really physical.
Mm-hmm.
There's like dudes like Jaden Ledee or Bokeh from Fresno, who's also a load, or any team, you go down the line, and they've got guys that are huge.
Or Edie.
Yeah, 7'4", 300. So, like, that's everybody, or TCU, or like players. And I think, honestly, it prepared us for TCU, and it prepared us for those big games that we needed to perform. And it's like, sometimes you're not going to get calls.
You're looking for the best place to grab yourself a pizza and, of course, entertainment? Look no further than Ruby's Pizzeria and Grill at 795 East, 1400 North. Ruby's Pizzeria and Grill has your salads, delicious pastas, creative pizzas, all that including watching some good games on TV with your buddies. Ruby's Pizzeria and Grill also has a Thursday through Saturday 9 p.m. to midnight menu. That's right, 9 p.m. to midnight, Thursday through Saturday, you get the delectable items. Our producer, Adam Lurcher, and myself went there. Well, Adam had the chicken fingers. I had this beautifully made gourmet hot dog with a delicious pretzel bun wrapped around it. Most importantly, Ruby's Pizzeria and Grill has the best customer service. Their employees are there to take good care of you, led by their manager, Thad Willis. So stop by Ruby's Pizzeria and Grill and let them know that the Unequal Podcast sent you there. 795 East, 1400 North in Logan.
You got to play through it.
I didn't realize how good this team was. Like, I mean, you're just kind of just going through the season. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, they're doing well. Yeah. But you guys went 14-1 at home. You only lost 2 neutral. You went 6-2 on neutral court. One of those was in the NCAA tournament. Yeah. The other one was in the Mountain West tournament. Yeah. The losses you had on the road included Bradley, who I think went to the conference championship. Yeah. New Mexico, who went to their conference championship. San Diego State, who went to their conference championship. 16. You guys were a pretty dang good basketball team when you look back at it. It was quite impressive. Yeah, I didn't really realize it until just now as I'm looking at the schedule.
It was amazing to be a part of. I can be completely honest and say that, like, I wasn't the biggest part of it, but I was able to influence a lot.
I'm not buying that one bit.
And so it was really amazing to be a part of that and to be able to help influence and see the amount of how far we were able to go. It was a great season.
Yeah, and what you said, I respect the humbleness, but honestly, great teams are made up of individuals doing their role at exceptional levels, and you played your role at an exceptional level. Sure, there were some guys that maybe had more minutes or got more accolades in the scoring column, but that doesn't diminish the role that you played everyone else on the team. So appreciate the humility, but
I don't.
Also understand, you did your role at exceptional ability that allowed your team to win.
Can you talk about the TCU game, your career night there in Indianapolis, Indiana? Just the show you put on. I mean, I don't know what your mindset was going into that game, but my goodness, you picked the right night to have a career night.
Thank you. That was a blast. That was so fun. There's 2 gifts now on Instagram.
Yeah.
So that's cool. But I don't think it was any different mindset that I had going into any other game. It's just the way that things worked out. I have the belief in myself that there's something that we worked on behind the scenes that not many people knew. We worked on mentality a lot. And we, like, halfway through the season, it was these I am statements and our breathing. And so something that I tried to work on a lot, starting at the Colorado State game, at Colorado State. That one was rough, but it was I am statements and breathing during timeouts and things like that. So I got a little flustered early. But then after that, I worked on these I am statements. I am a great shooter. I am capable. I am happy. I am loved. And then I would also work on my breathing. So in for 6 seconds, out for 6 seconds, while I say these I am statements. In timeouts and times that we're waiting for plays to be called, or you're at the free throw line waiting for box outs, or whatever you can. And do these enough, you start to believe them because you're looking for them. If you tell yourself these things, you start to see them more often in your life. It's like when you buy a new car, you didn't realize how many people had your car until you
100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so when I started saying these things, I started seeing those things. And I started to believe in myself more and more as the season continued. And it got to the point when I made that first three in the corner with TCU, we were setting up an out-of-bounds play, and Great called the play for me. And so obviously you look at Great as the go-to guy all year. Yeah. And to see that, like, hey, we've got this confidence. This is the biggest game of our entire season, hands down. And they had the confidence in me. We're calling this play up for you. And the same way it was Colorado State at home and a few other games, they called that play for me. And I knew, yeah, they've got the confidence in me. Why shouldn't I have confidence in me? Let's do it. So we run the play, go to the corner, and just kind of flow into the shot, shoot it, knock it down. And I was like, man, I kind of am in the zone now. Now it's kind of sick. Let's do it. And so when you've got the Utah State fans that were right there, you can hear them. And then I think on national TV, like it's the big day. It's like that kind of adds to it. And then the next one, we go into a timeout, and Coach Sprinkle says, "You're ready to hit another three." And the time before he said that was in Fresno, when I went, I think, 2 for 4 in that game as well in the tournament, in the Mountain West tournament. And so I said, yep, let's do it. And to see that then my coach also had that confidence in me, why shouldn't I have that confidence in me? And I was able to, in that second half, be a little more aggressive because I knew that they believed in me and they were confident that I could be a part of the reason we won. And so it was fun to do that, and then kind of getting into the mindset of like, man, I'm kind of hooping. And to see, I think I never really was like a celebrator in high school. Yeah. But I saw Taylor Funk and Stephen Ashworth last year, everything, every single shot, they were celebrating. And it was like so fun, and how much fun it was to see the crowd get into it. And so I kind of bought into that a little bit. And so not every single shot, but to kind of do the big fish for a little tribute to the students and fans that were there and throughout the season that have like helped me kind of make that a thing. And it was awesome to hear later the commentators trying to figure out.
Oh, it was so, I'm screaming at the TV. Screaming, is it a gator? Is there like, are you serious? Yeah. The fetching leak, you think it's a gator?
And so our media lady, Ashley, she filled him in I think at like halftime.
She probably got a million texts on her phone like, fix this now.
Yeah, so
God, I was one of them.
That was awesome. So then they were asking me about it later, and so it was like such an amazing experience. And something after the Purdue game that Sprinkle said to me, he pulled me aside, and he said, no matter what happened in that game, nobody can take away from the fact that you were one of the biggest reasons that we won against TCU, that you led your team to an NCAA tournament win. Right. And I was like, man, that is a really cool sentiment from my coach. And so I really appreciated that. And it was just like an in-the-moment thing that I know I have the capability to do that. And the thing that I'm working on now is continuing that mindset of like, I can do this. Basketball is something I do. It's not who I am, but I have the capabilities of doing that a lot and a lot more often. And so that's my goal, is to be as consistent as I can moving forward with an elevated level of play.
Who led the I am statements? Was that Coach Sprinkle thing? Was there a mental aspects of sports guy that came?
Yeah, there's Coach Gibb. He's worked with a lot of professional athletes as well as a lot of different NBA teams. He works with NBA guys, and other guys. He's in California, but he walked us through this mindset and mental monsters. We had these on the road and stuff we do usually the day before the game, and we became mental monsters is our goal. And it was a lot of focus on Kobe and his approach to being a mental monster, and Michael Jordan and these LeBron James, those types of like the elites of basketball and why they are and how they're able to be consistently elite and the GOATs of their generation. I won't get into like who is the overall. I'll just say the GOATs of their generation. It makes it easier. And so it was incredible to be led by him and taught by him. And with that experience he's had, so it helped us out a lot.
Hi, this is Karen Nielsen with Guild Mortgage in Logan, Utah. Beyond great rates, we're committed to ongoing customer service even after your loan closes. We want you to experience knowledge, communication, and amazing customer service for a lasting relationship. Make Guild Mortgage your trusted partner.
Well, that's really cool, and I like to hear that. I think it's I look up a lot to Doc Gordon, Utah State professor.
Yeah.
And the more I'm around him, the more I wish I could just sit and listen to him and be listening. So I like Data Mental Monsters. I like the I am statements. I think that it's powerful. You're proof of it. If you ever watch Full Swing on Netflix, on the PGA Tour, there's a full episode where they talk a lot about a guy that won one of the major championships last year, that he started seeing a mental aspect of sports coach, and he went from having self-doubts to winning. So there's power in it, no doubt. There's power in it.
I should go to Isaac for all my radio doubts. So my podcast doubts. Look, I'm just not good as JC. Like, he asks great questions. I don't know what to do. I'm doubting myself on this podcast. Just don't know if I can cut
a great job.
There you go. Okay.
We've been cooking.
He's down. Let down play your role. Know who you are. Come on now, Jack.
I'm JC's co-host.
Come on, Juice.
You're Juice.
Come on, Juice. Oh, you got Juice and Fish here today.
What was your nickname? Did you have one? Or is yours called... All right, look, I was going to call you Chair because Stu World told the story. You ever heard the story of Stu World? So, I asked one time, Stu, who was always very critical of his players, no matter how, he was like Jerry Sloan as players. No matter how good they were, JC could have 40, 13, and 12, and Stu would be like, yeah, look, he played okay, not great, but he's got to learn how to dribble the ball. Anyways, one time he told that JC couldn't even guard a chair. And so your nickname is Chair.
No. Look, I don't have any nicknames that have stuck with me. But my sophomore in high school, I started playing varsity, and the seniors had a couple nicknames for me.
What were they?
All right. It was Pokemon was big back in the day. So they called me Curlmon for JC Carroll, Curlmon.
Nerd.
They thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
My dad's name is Jerry Carroll, so they call me Jerry Curl. Jerry Curl.
Oh, yeah.
And the third one they called me was the Ticket. I was their ticket to state.
There we go.
There you go. That one was better.
Not the ticket.
Not the big
That's
ticket.
a good one.
But they call me the Ticket.
Yeah, no, so that was okay.
You obviously had made the announcement that you're going to stay at Utah State. You kind of talked about that.
Yep.
Coach Calhoun now is a new coach. I mean, this is crazy. 5 out of 6 years you guys have been to the NCAA tournament. One of those years we didn't make it, you went to the NIT.
Yeah.
And yet you're on your 4th coach. It's just incredible. You met Coach Calhoun. What is your thoughts on him? What is your first impressions of him so far?
We haven't had any coaching experience with him yet. We're getting into workouts this week. But I think he is a fantastic fit.
Have you talked to him yet?
I have.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, I think he is a fantastic fit for Utah State basketball and for the future of this program and for our community. He's got a young family and he fits well here. Like you kind of said, Youngstown is kind of crazy. It's kind of a wild.
Yeah, it is.
And I think that they're really, really excited to be here. They were all here last week, and we all went out to Kabuki for a team dinner. And even some of the guys who were in the portal,
I got to
join us, and it was so it was awesome.
How was Kabuki?
It's always so dang good, man.
I've just never been there. You've talked about it. Dude. Have you been to Kabuki? Oh my
Dude, it's so good. You gotta.
Sorry, take me out to dinner sometime. We'll go to Kabuki.
You got Molbettas, Kabuki. Do you get out? You butcher your entire life.
Dude, I love me a double cheese at Mickey D's.
No.
Oh,
all right.
my God.
Oh, you're done with that. No, don't. No, you're done with
You're
that.
gonna go fast food. At least go Taco Bell.
And you and you're done with Taco Bell. Chalupa. There's something else. No, chalupa. Like taco time.
Oh man, taco time.
Taco time.
I do want to ask.
The Justin Bean Benito.
Hey, the old one's gonna have to be Arctic Circle. We're working on.
Fitz, what do you got to start promoting your fish?
We're working on a big fish shake.
Fish steak.
A shake. We're gonna do a Swedish fish.
Where?
Shake at Arctic Circle. Oh yeah, it's on its.
I'm totally getting that.
So that's the first media.
I would. Oh man, that'd be great.
That's my mom's favorite candy, so that's like perfect, you know.
That's awesome. Is that how you came up with that? You then, or how did?
Oh no, it was the guy, the Arctic Circle guy. He's the mastermind. So
It's awesome.
Hey, you looking for something fun to do this summer? How about you go to Bridgeland Adventure Park, located in Garden City, Utah. Bridgeland Adventure Park has all sorts of adventures from ages 2 to 92. A 4-levels ropes course with 73 events, a giant swing, a 450-foot-long zip line, or get on a tube and head down the 350-foot slide. They're also accepting business corporate groups. You and your office want to get out of the daily grind? Sick of staring at your computer for 8 hours a day? Well, bring the company over to Bridgeland Adventure Park. Enjoy some delicious food, a snow cone, a fun time with your coworkers, and lasting memories. Bridgeland Adventure Park is located at 722 South First Light Drive in Garden City, Utah. For more information and questions, go to blap.rocks. That's BLAP.rocks.
You talked about college athletics being a business, and probably no more so than it is now. Thank you, NIL. Can you talk about your experience with NIL? And I know you probably don't want to go into details, but I'll ask anyways because I feel like I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't. About your recent, I got to be careful how I pronounce or say this, but just your recent announcement to stay and what the transaction was like to stay.
for sure.
From the collective.
For sure. My first year dealing with NIL was at the University of Oregon, and they've got a lot of resources, like I said before, a lot of connections in the business world and a lot of resources. And so that was a fantastic year that kind of helped set me up for transition to my new school. There was 5 figures of NIL for a guy who sat on the end of the bench. That was pretty cool. And then I came here to Utah State, and I kind of was able to piggyback off of that Oregon and get a few other deals. I did one with Karcher Homes my first year. That was really cool. And then a little bit with the collective, but nothing crazy. But this year, I've often said, if you're talking about our athletic director, Dinah Sabo, if she could earn overtime, she'd be a millionaire this year. Like, she works her butt off, and she's killing it. She has been in a fantastic change, I think, for athletic department. And I think there is a big shift with NIL around here. It's unique to me because our area of the country is hardworking individuals, no matter like what area of work they're in. And so the idea of, hey, you play basketball, here's money for that, help support my brand, help support my business. It may not pay a super ton on the back end. It may, but like we want to support you. Here's this opportunity. That's not something that's super common, I feel like, on this side of the country. On the East Coast and at those bigger schools, people like just throwing money at some of these athletes, But here it's more of a mindset of, how are you earning this money? What are you doing to make this investment worth it? And that's completely substantiated. Like, I understand that as a business owner, I would be the exact same way. Or somebody who's willing to donate money, I'd be the exact same way. But I think while these other schools have adopted that other mindset of, we need to have this money in order to continue to compete at a high level, I think our athletic staff, and as well as Coach Calhoun, are doing a good job in innovating in our community of how to make sure that these business owners feel that this is an important, worthwhile investment for them, and it's something that will improve our athletics department overall, players-wise, in the long run. And so you've got schools like San Diego State and New Mexico whose collectives are in the millions.
Yeah.
Like every year budget-wise. And so Utah State, I think they're doing a fantastic job. We're like a little bit behind the game, but we're hitting the ground full sprint right now. And the guys who are in charge of the collective are doing a fantastic job with that. And I will say this personally, for me this year to come back, regardless of NIL, I was going to be an Aggie. It's just a added bonus on top of it that there is opportunity for me in the NIL. I'm not going to go into specifics about numbers and all that, but I am over the moon excited about the opportunities that I'll have because I'm an Aggie regardless of the NIL.
So with you saying that, you have a sister, Gracie, who we hope will be the face of the program for the next few years. She's wonderful. She's got just as bright of a personality as you do, Isaac, and lights up a room. Do you feel like they need to be given more attention with NIL, or how do you handle that? Like you being, offered what you were, and then Gracie Johnson probably still waiting for her deal to come through maybe one day down the road, hopefully sooner than later. Like what's your thoughts on that with female athletes?
Yeah. I think that is something, like this year has been such an amazing year for female athletes. Like I saw something on Instagram recently that said that more people can throw around household names of college basketball women athletes than men athletes.
Yeah.
Like you know, Kevin Brink, Paige Beckers, Caitlin Clark, Floje, what's the other one from LSU? What's her name?
Olivia Newton.
No, she's a gym.
Of course, Angel Reese.
Angel Reese. Like all these big time names like that are drawing so much attention to women's basketball and to women's athletics, and it's awesome. It's a fantastic change, and I think it's going to start picking up momentum for everybody across the country.
Okay.
And I think here, again, our athletic department did a fantastic job with a new hire, and I'm excited to see what that'll look like in the future because it's kind of been a bit of a downer in these past few years. That's like just kind of obvious. That's not even going out on a limb and saying something crazy.
Testify to that a little bit.
So I'm excited for the direction that they're headed, and I'm excited for the support that they have from within our athletic department. And I think the community will start to get more and more excited about it because it's something worth getting excited over. So
I'll play a little rapid fire with you really quickly. Ask you some random questions. Stuff. Your beautiful missionary comes home and say we're ready to go on a date. Where are you taking her for her first date here at Cache Valley?
A Big Fish milkshake.
Let's go. Let's go.
We'll probably go up Green Canyon. Just go look over the valley. That's where we went on our first date.
Oh.
So, yeah.
What is your favorite color of horse?
I'm going to just have to go Appaloosa. They're gorgeous. Appaloosas are gorgeous.
Is that My Little Pony, or is that like...
Oh, come on, man.
I don't know. Come on. Oh, yeah, here's a question for you.
Okay.
How long do you think it will be until you marry this gal?
Oh my gosh. Don't answer that. No, listen to this. Let's put pressure on
She's on her mission.
Can I get in at the after party?
Oh my gosh, no.
She's on her mission. I'm focusing on this summer workouts and everything, and we'll get to that road when we get there. So.
That's a great answer. That's the answer.
I appreciate it.
Okay, how many... You're 7 feet tall.
Yep.
How tall of a horse do you have to be on so your feet don't drag?
I'd probably have to go like some sort of draft horse.
Like a 16-man horse?
Yeah,
16-man horse?
Something.
Get a...
It's pretty funny. Usually, because I don't have my own saddle, so when I'm riding other people's horses, we gotta like, they're like, I have never adjusted my saddle this long. Like the stirrups are as far as they're going, and it's pretty funny. But yeah,
you're off the court, nothing to do that day, no podcast to have to handle. What are you doing?
It depends. Are we like middle of the season? Because middle of the season, I'm napping. And
what's today? April, whatever it is. It's April today. It's pretend like it's 75 and clear.
Okay.
And Isaac's got a free day.
Okay. free day, no diet restrictions, let's say.
Of course not. Never. You're skinny as they go. Give you 100 bread. Now you have any diet restrictions?
I would say I'm probably going to... So there's the Sinclair over in Smithfield. Their chicken and fries are fantastic. So I would go out there, and I recently bought a moped. I have a helmet, and I've got safety precautions. But so I'm going to...
Coach, it's okay. He's got safety precautions.
So I'll take the back roads on my moped because it's this beautiful sunny day, and I'm going to go get some chicken and fries out there at the gas station. And then later in the day, I will probably go out towards Tremonton. I've got some buddies out there from a mission, and we'll probably go skeet shooting or shoot our pistols or...
You sound like a shotgun John. We will shoot him.
Yeah.
Come and struck and go shoot him.
Look, the next time he comes on, you get right on the back of his moped with him and ask him questions.
We'll do that. Moped mic'd up with Aggie and Fish. With juice and fish.
Yes, that'll be the next episode.
Like one of those Lloyd and Harry Dumb and Dumber moments when they're riding on the motorcycle. It's freezing cold.
Yep.
Carpool karaoke, but...
Best player you've ever played against?
I played against Anthony Edwards.
He's played against Ant?
Yeah, so we played at the Pangos camp in California, and I had like Johnny Chuzang.
Yeah, Kevin Pangos camp? Who's the Pangos?
I couldn't tell you. It was just the Pangos All-American camp in, I think, Anaheim.
Okay.
And there's like one of Anthony Edwards' like biggest highlights of high school is him dunking on Johnny Juzang, and I'm like standing right there on the baseline just watching him throw down, and it was crazy. So him, I've played with Tyler Harrow, Emmanuel Quickly, James Wiseman. Like I've had a lot of opportunities to play with a lot of cool guys that have made a lot of money in their careers, have been to a lot of cool places, but probably Anthony Edwards. Like LaMelo Ball, played against him in the big baller brand game. It's been a lot of cool spots, but probably Anthony Edwards.
If you and Gracie and Spence are having a shootout from the 3-point range, who wins?
Me. I will say this. Like Gracie, she's doing awesome.
I'd see her shoot. Working on it.
She's working on it, but it's good. Spencer is a dang good shooter, but you can't just give it to him. I got to take me every time, So he's a really good shooter.
They're playing San Jose State women's basketball at San Jose State. Yep. Gracie on a straightaway three. I go, Gracie, 3. Do you believe in miracles? Yes.
So she's a really good shooter. Our dad, growing up, he trained us to play like guards. So obviously my ball handling isn't like a guard, but my shooting abilities is my dad was a 6'6" shooter. And so our training and everything revolved around being able to be play multiple positions. And so regardless, I think in today's game especially, regardless of how tall you are, that's a necessity. And I think that's kind of what has helped us in our different height differences and abilities in college.
Last question, I think I know the answer to this. If you were not playing basketball in your career, what would you be doing?
If I was not, I'd probably be going to do summer sales first off. That's like...
Oh, that's not what I had in mind.
But I'd probably be working on a farm somewhere. One of my buddies manages some ranches down in central Utah, so I'd probably go kick it with him and do that.
What number was your dad up here?
I think it was number 20. I'm pretty sure he wore number 20. Solid number, right?
Sorry.
Yeah. My grandpa, he wore number 20 in college. He played junior college, but... So it's Spencer, number 20 at BYU. Can't argue. Good players, we're 20, right?
I won't argue with that.
Isaac, you've been a blast. Man, thank you for being so open with us. It's so great, and we love having you here in Logan. I know the Aggie Nation would more than agree with us on that, and look forward to watching you here in the 24-25 season. Wish you the best. Stay healthy.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
For Isaac Johnson, J.C. Carroll, I'm Ajay Salson. Big thanks to the Painted Roses and the Boat & Co., 1835 Main Street in Logan. They will take care of your housing needs. Like I said, they are actually taking care of Coach Calhoun in his house, and I've seen it. It is absolutely immaculate. It is amazing. It is beautiful. So, yeah, again, Boat & Co. is great. Let Larry and Janice and the crew take good care of you. For the Unequal Podcast, we appreciate you listening. Rate and subscribe. We'll talk to you next time.
Get me to feel this way. I think I'll be coming home. It's such a long time. Oh, I think I might have made one too many a mistake. If you help me find my way, I promise I'll do the same one day.